Good morning. Right. So, firstly, I would like to say that this was going to be done live. It is still 10 a.m. On Tuesday. However, I was sitting with it and I was tapping and I was like, why am I doing this masterclass live? Why am I putting that pressure on myself? And because that's what I've always done. And what I didn't do was actually tune in to, is that what I'm wanting to create going forward? Now I've stopped doing live masterclass, and I'll sort of explain a bit later going on. But my whole business model used to be around a big launch of my courses. You might know, like Mind Your Money, Life on Purpose, things like that. So I would do a lot of live showing up. And then when I started home educating the kids and I had another baby, realizing that launch model and doing big courses like that and launching all this big amazing stuff into the world wasn't how I wanted to do it. And yet here I am, or was, repeating a pattern that I didn't want to do anymore. And what's really interesting is that I was going along with that pattern and like, oh my God, what am I doing? Just this morning, so I woke up like, oh my God, what am I doing? This is not what I want to be doing. So why am I doing it? So this leads me into, this is the story that I was telling myself, that actually that's what I do. I went straight back into a pattern. I've talked about patterns loads before. Patterns are basically run by our stories, the stories we tell. So I dug a little bit into it this morning and was like, why am I doing this live masterclass when that doesn't serve my life anymore? Helping people and doing things like this is what I want to, but doing it live isn't what actually serves me now. So I tapped on it, right? And it's because it scared me to change things. It was because of a fear. It's always because of a fear. So I wanted to share with you, that's why this is a video, still done at the same time, but with the option to break if Bubba down here needs to. But I decided to create the space back in my workspace, in my office, to do it today. But I was really feeling misaligned. And that's why. Now you're here because you are probably, this is Mummy's Mad Mornings. Now you don't have to be a mummy to understand this, but you're probably somebody who does a lot of multitasking. Now, first and foremost, a really big discovery, and I hope you can get on board with that, is that, he's just cooing, is that multitasking is actually, although we keep seeing it as this wonderful kind of, yes, I'm amazing, I can do lots of million things at once, it's actually really, really bad. It actually sits with doing everything, making it possible, but it's not actually how we're meant to be. And what it stops us doing is actually tuning into what we really, really, truly are. So the first thing I want to sort of address is actually how you're not getting more done by doing more. When you do one thing at a time, you get a lot more done. Now you're going to say, yeah, but how do I get up, do my makeup, feed the kids, make dinner for tonight, get everybody out, make packed lunches, do my own stuff, do my own exercise, or self-care just out of the window? Is that just out of the window? You don't, because what you're doing is you are wasting a lot of time faffing. And believe it or not, so because you're trying to do everything at once, you're probably getting very little done at once. Okay, so what we need to do is tune in to the masculine, says me here with Ziki. So what you possibly to tune into the masculine of just focusing on one thing at a time. That's where our masculine side is going to come in and help us, right? So what I'd like you to do, I'm just going to, there we go, is I'm going to pause this and I'm going to draw a little thing. I like to draw a box like that, okay? So it's a square, and then it's as if you can play noughts and crosses with a square around it, basically. Okay, and you're going to keep the middle one free. You're going to keep that free, all right? And in that box, and the rest of the other 8 spaces, write all the things that you need to think about in the morning, right? All the things you've got going on. Be that, oh, I've got to look at emails, do Facebook, go to work, get dressed, whatever it is that you've got to do in the morning, that you've got to think about, that you've got to do, oh God, got to pack lunches, got to remind the kids to do this, sort that out, got to get the trains organised, whatever it is, whatever your morning looks like, okay? And while you're doing that, I'll give you some of what my morning, I know that I need to operate self-care in my energy. So I need to tap or do some kind of energy work just for a little while, okay? I also know that I absolutely want to exercise. Absolutely, that is what I want to do, okay? I also know that I want to do some work. I want to feel like I'm doing work. That's what I want to get done in the morning. And I also know that I need to do lunches for the kids generally. And I also, what else do I need to do? I need to make smoothies, lunches, do my self-care practice, have showers, get the kids showered. I do nappies washed, make sure they're out drying. I've got a lot of washing to do. I also want my business, so I have to work on my business. And I have to get a lot of these, I need to get a lot of these done early, otherwise they don't get done. So the one thing I need to do is have a plan. Okay, so what's in your boxes? Please share it below. What are the things you want to get sorted in your morning? Okay, and that could just be fitting in a shower, exfoliating, getting your makeup done. One of mine is makeup, by the way, as well. One of mine is makeup, that I want to get makeup done. That I actually like to have 3 drinks. I like to have a tea, a hot lemon, and a coffee. So it's licorice tea, hot lemon, and coffee. They're my things I like to have in the morning. A smoothie, like I say, operate some sort of self-care, generally tapping and brain dumping. I do mainly brain dump mostly every morning. I just don't want to really feel like it. I need to have a time when Zeke's just not feeling it. So I need to have some downtime maybe with him. And yeah, so what did I used to do? I would generally do work whilst I'm feeding Zeke, whilst I'm stressing out, whilst they're lying down. He's not going to be happy because, as you know, babies like to be focused on. Then maybe I wouldn't get any exercise done because I'd be stressed. Then I'd probably be shouting at somebody. And lunches would be stressed. I'd ask the kids to do the lunches, in which case Max wouldn't eat and Constance would have too much. It would just be a nightmare. And then I wouldn't leave on time. I'd be stressed. I'd feel kind of resentful, actually, that I didn't get my stuff done, that I'm actually hungry, driving in the car, going to where I'm going, half-assed lunches. Baby might or might not be, baby's probably fine, actually. Always look at make the baby fine. But I'd feel like I am unimportant in that scenario. I'd feel like I am bottom. Okay. So if you need a bit of time, just pause this to fill out those boxes. The reason we leave one in the middle, right, is because that is for things that come up. That is for emergencies, okay, or random shit that you never thought of that might come up. So one of those boxes also has to have you in it. So now pause this, right, and go and have a little think about your box. Okay, when you've done that, let me tell you this, you can only be in one box at a time. One box. You can only service one box at a time. Now, the very masculine side of us and the masculine entities men as well, will generally go, oh, yeah, of course, you genuinely can't think about more than one thing. Well, that is literally the way you're going to power through this, is be on one box at a time, okay? Now, here's the other crunch. Be in that box for 7 minutes, not an hour, not a second. Well, it can be less than, but give yourself 7 minutes. 7 minutes is a wonderful amount of time. It's a very complete. If you talk about angel numbers, it's a very complete amount of time. 7 is the thing for completeness. There you go. On that instead of that. There you go. For completeness. So 7 minutes. Now, my plan, right? I'll give you my plan, because what we need here is a plan. You need to know what you need to do in the morning. So at the very latest, the night before, write down, it may sound like really like, write down what you need to get done. Okay? It really is important. So write it down. Now, along with a lot of this work, a huge factor I felt is that you need to have accountability. So when you're doing this sort of work, you need to know that somebody's going to keep you on the straight and narrow, but more about that later. But first of all, get a plan. What do you need to do? And then look at that. Look at your plan, right? So lunches, whatever it might be, and say, what do you need to do? So you have all the things that you need to do. So I'm getting a bit confused, right? So all the things that you need to do, right? And want to do, everything in that box, all the things that you want to do, right? Now, out of all those things, so be it making lunches or whatever, organising something, is there anything that you can ask for help with? Right, that's the first thing. What we want to do is actually, is there anything in there that you can actually say, well, yeah, someone else can do that. Seriously, I can just ask for help. So there we go. So like I said, I'm not really multitasking. So if Ziki needs you, I'm going to pause it and come back. So I just paused it. So you need to have a plan. One of those boxes, I'll reiterate, one of those boxes at a time. So all the things you need to do, what can you get help with? Right, that's where I was, wasn't it? So if you struggle to ask for help, this was a huge problem for me. It still niggles, right? This is if you've ever heard of anything called toxic independence. Toxic independence is actually a module I am going to cover in my new membership. I'm going to be covering it because toxic or hyper independence can be an incredibly destructive thing. And women who multitask, women who do it all, who are great at doing everything, especially in adversity, can have massive trauma. And in case you don't know much about me, I basically help people through their stored trauma. So hyper independence is a trauma reaction. That's it. It's a trauma response. And it's something that multitasking, on a very serious note, if you are a multitasker and you have to do things yourself and you are obsessed with doing things yourself and you can and you will and you're amazingly amazing, you're probably incredibly capable, right? But the problem there is when you can't ask for help. Now, in order to make life gorgeous for yourself, one needs to ask for help. Now, if that is genuinely something you struggle with, I am doing a whole mini course on how to overcome hyper-independence within my brand new membership that I'm going to offer out to you later on. So that's covered. But that's, and if you something God, I always have to do everything myself, and it used to physically cause me pain when I asked for help. It was really a real problem for me eventually. But it took me to just being on my knees before I asked for help. And that wasn't okay. And actually, I don't want anyone else to live like that. And it is a huge, huge thing for women. Okay, so getting back to asking for help. The other thing we need to do is there someone, okay, so if you can't ask for help, and if you've asked for help, someone else to do it, fine. So if we can't, is there anyone else we can just delegate the task to? So that delegation, asking for help. Is there anything we just don't really need to do? Is it like, well, actually, I always do this in the morning, therefore it needs to be done in the morning? Is there something that just doesn't need to be done right now? I'm not saying, but if you've got a finite amount of time, if there's stuff you want to get done, and if your own personal self-care is going to suffer because of the washing up or the washing or the cleaning or something that isn't time sensitive, just working at the moment? Okay, so that's also a little person came to the door there, and boundaries as well, but we'll get to that in a minute. So is there something you just don't need to be doing? Can it be done can you schedule it in for a later period? Okay, if you're like, no, I can't ask anyone for help, no, I can't eliminate, okay, is there something that you can have done automatically? Can you automate anything? Can you actually think, well, actually, somebody else, well, I could actually have someone come and do the cleaning. That's actually asking for help, isn't it? But is there something you can do automatically? This would be more if you're in business. Is there something that, can you have your Facebook post scheduled? Can you automate anything so that you don't have to think, oh God, I've got to write that, then I've got to post that, then I'll write that email? Is there anything you can get done on autopilot? Anything at all? Okay, and when and so then you're left with the things that you need to do. All right, okay, now when you look at all of those things, they need to be done with focus and alone. Okay, so I know that when I wake up, I know that all these things I've got to do, so I then decide, okay, when am I going to do them, and in what order I'm going to do them, and I just write it down. A big thing for me as well is I want to get work stuff done. So if you have work stuff to do and you or you have like a plan. Now, I'm going to go on a side thing here. So the reason we are alive, the reason we are doing, the reason we are living is because we are looking to create something. Yeah. If we're just cracking on and we've got crazy ass mornings and it's always going to be the same, what's the effing point, right? What is the point if it's not going anywhere? So I would invite you to have like a dream, to really get focused on what it's all about for you, what you're wanting to create. Because if you're just having crazy ass mornings, if it's just the repeatness, that's how life is, I'd invite you to see, what is it all for? Again, that's something that I cover within my membership that I've just opened. So it's about really tuning into your what do you want? Why do you want it? And yeah, so really getting an idea of what you'd like to create, how you'd like to create a better life. And what I do, okay, is I do two things that take me about 5 minutes towards that dream. So that might be some research, that might be some time to plan what I want to create, to even think about what I want to create. But two things to get through to that big plan, that big thing that I want to create. And there's a big thing like, what do I want to create in life in the next sort of 10 years, right? Bollocks to that, because humans don't operate on a 10-year plan. Humans operate on what needs to be done now. Humans are last minute. It isn't just you. The importance of things generally has a timestamp. Okay, so if you have got 6 weeks to do something, the majority of this will do it quite last minute. That is to do with when we buy something, when we have to get something done. But it's, if something else has got a sooner time to have things done, that thing will get allocated first. So the problem is, if you're like, yeah, I really want to get fit this year, I can guarantee other things will be more important and they will come first. If you're like, well, actually, by the end of the week, or by the end of the day, or by the end of the hour, I want to get this thing done, I bet you get it done. So we've got to, long-ass dreams can just be long-ass. It's great to have a vision, but we need to have short-term goals. Okay, so what is it all for? What are you actually trying to create in this morning? Okay, so having a plan. So having a plan is simply, what do we need to get done and what's the most important thing, and must, there is no way around it, you must do some sort of self care. Now, I do 7 minutes of Pilates every single morning. I take one morning off because that's healthy, but I do 7 minutes every single morning. When I do it, I don't know. It depends on the fluidity of the day. So I don't say, right, by 7 a.m. I must be doing it, because you know what? For example, Zeke this morning didn't wake up till 8:30. Now, usually he wakes up at 6. He didn't wake up till 8:30. So I didn't go, right, I have to get the exercise done before I do the masterclass. No, I'm not going to be like that. I'm not going to operate like that, because that is just crazy for my brain. And I know today I don't need to be out till a bit later, so I'm going to allow time to do what it does. It's a focus on, I know what time I need to be out, and then I need to forget about it. I need to let it go. I know when I need to get all this done by, and I have total faith and trust that everything that I wanted to do will get done, and I will leave the house on time. Now, that isn't clock watching. That is an utter faith. And you have to have that faith that you are going to leave the house on time, and everything you want to get done will happen. And it's a focus on the things you are doing. So rather than say, I need to make lunch, then just fucking make lunch. Do it. Do it and say, if anybody say, but I want this and I need that and I want to do that and I've got this. No. If you're doing something, do it. Right. So if you're doing your 7 minutes of exercise, do it. If people want you, they can wait. Now, you know, if something like a leg is being lobbed off, or someone's gushing with blood, or if, I don't know, something really serious comes up, fine. But 7 minutes is not too outlandish for you to do what you need to do and to focus, okay? I even add in 7 minutes of playing some random game with my kids, because playing doesn't come naturally to me. I don't even play as a kid much. Not playing as they play. They're great at playing. I didn't play very much like that. I played with stories and writing and stuff like that. That was my play. So I allocate 7 minutes to playing as well. And that sounds a bit regimented, but then I know that it's not going to go on, and I can focus on playing. And remember, you know, with this 7 minute thing, you can always reset and do another 7 minutes. Okay, but doing 7 minutes means you can focus and concentrate. So yeah, if you need to make the lunches, make the lunches. No, I'm not interruptible. I'm making a sandwich. No, I'm not interruptible. Thoughts, I'll come back. No, I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay, and you gradually tick the things off that you need to do, not worrying about the time. You really have to let go and just trust, because we could go into quantum physics and quantum mechanics here, but basically time doesn't even exist. It's what you create it, and the more you focus on the lack of time, the more lack of time you're going to get. If you're very interested in this, you could really look into quantum mechanics, quantum physics. Time is an illusion. It's made up really for us all to work to, but it doesn't actually exist. I'll give you a little quick example about time, right? So, you know, when you think, oh God, that seems like ages ago, and oh God, time flew, and oh God, this is dragging. So when time flies, or when time is dragging, that shouldn't feel any different. The reason it does is because of your consciousness to it. Does that make sense? So time is only as relevant as you make it, really. And yes, you can see the seconds ticking by, but a second is only a second because that's what we create. Okay, we can get a lot of stuff done in 5 minutes, or we can get absolutely nothing done. Okay, and when we are conscious of the time, that's when the time is relevant. I know this may sound a bit like woo-woo, but I am a logical woo-wooer. I believe in logic, I believe in spirituality, and I believe they work very well together. Okay, so, and that's why my just briefly, my method, the way I help people heal and I help people get stuff done, is we either go very woo-woo, we go very into our stories and our subconscious programming, or we get very conscious and make decisions about our actions. And we do the fart method, which obviously the child in me is our feelings, our actions, our reactions, and our thoughts. Spell fart is an acronym, which makes me happy. Anyway, so we use the overcoming the fart method. Okay, so If anything is coming up for you like this isn't going to work, that's a story. Okay. Know that if you're like, this is ridiculous, what she's saying isn't real, I can't get everything done, that's a story. Time is real. Well, that's your story. That's your story. It's not my story, but it might be your story. And remember that if you have spent your life rushing around in the morning, multitasking like a mofo, not getting shit done, that is you running a script and a story. If you're an EFTer that comes in, you'll know about stories, but you might not know that, or might not be aware of the sheer everythingness that our stories have on us, the sheer everythingness that it covers. And that is even to do with, do I believe I can get my stuff done? Do I believe I can even do this? Our stories are everywhere. And if you really, truly want to overcome your stories, come and work with me. I am the master of it. And actually in my membership, what I'm giving away, right? I am giving away my absolute best, all-encompassing methodology, the Lucy B method. And that sounds like I had to go over my stories of, who do you think you are? But basically where you find your stories and you pick a way. You either go conscious or you go subconscious. And I'm the only person who's done it. I've created this wonderful method through years of running courses now on each of those methods, and I've put them together and I've put it in a way that you can do it yourself, which is fucking powerful. Anyway, so if you have any doubt that you can get all your list of stuff done in any time frame, that is a story. And what I would invite you to do there is just spend 7 minutes, right? Just writing down the stories, the reasons, the reasons you can't get this stuff done. Oh, like there's too much to do. That's ridiculous. The time does exist. Whatever it might be that comes up, I want you to flush it all out, okay? Because that'll help you. But I would also invite you to do it, try it and see. Okay, so you want to plan. You want to know what you've got to get done. Because the biggest thing is, right, we wake up with no fucking idea what we've got to do, right? And stuff then hits, oh my God. So before you go to sleep, and the reason it is great before you go to sleep, create a 7-minute window before you go to sleep of writing down what you want to get done in the morning. You could even do it over the whole day, but I'm calling this Mummy's Mad Mornings because I want to focus on our morning, because often we need to be out of the house by Blair time, okay? So write down what you need to get done. And when you get up, do those things. Now, like I say, there must be an element of self-care in there. And self-care, I don't mean just, having a shower. Mind you, self-care might just be a shower. I'm not here to judge what self-care is to you, but do something that is just for you, that you want to get done. And have your timer set to 7 minutes. Okay, and then get things done. Know the time you want to have things done by. Tune into that time, then forget about it. Don't look at the clock. Okay, and work in 7-minute bursts and focus on what you're doing. It's really very simple. And go through your list. Do not allow interruption with your thoughts or mini people or big people or the phone. Okay, now scrolling will not be your friend. Even no, if you want to allocate, if that's what you want to do, you want to look on Facebook and you want to go on social media, fine, right? But set your timer for 7 minutes for that. You will lose hours a day just by scrolling. You know it's true, right? And yet you'll probably make excuses like we all do for it. So if that is something you want to do in the morning, fine. Then put that in your list of things you want to do. Let's not deny it. Get really real. I mean, the biggest thing we actually do is we lie to ourselves. We actually lie to ourselves, because one of the reasons we don't do exercise is we don't really want to, right? So how do you get around not really wanting to exercise but knowing you should? Well, why do you want to do it? What's the point? Because if your why isn't big enough and your why not is bigger, So a why is the reason you want to do exercise. I want to get fit and thin, right? But your why not is, I can't get fit and thin. Actually, why don't I do it? Because I don't believe I can. I mean, what I do, I'm never going to look any different. You won't do the exercise. So when you need to figure out your why you're doing it, and then you need to understand the only reason you're not doing it is because your why not, the reason you can't, the reason you won't, is bigger. It's more, and the scales, it's bigger. I've got a very sleeping baby here, okay? So what's your why and why not? And again, there's only so much I can and will cover in this masterclass. Anybody who wants to join, by the way, the membership is open. Pretty much good. The membership it will have this hyper independence, self-study program, so you can go through the stages in which to really overcome your hyper independence. I am going to be doing 7 minutes of Pilates every day, and they're recording it so you can do it in your own time. But that's going to be done, and you are going to be able to step into it and get an email every single day to remind you to do it. And then you can actually comment on it, and so I know you've done it, and so there's accountability there too. There is also, you get access to my Lucy B method, which is absolute gold. And when I run it live, it's going to be £888. I'm going to be doing the condensed version, not live, but with all the lessons in it. That's £555. But if you join the membership, you get it free, totally free. Like, that's incredible. And even if, right, you then decide, I don't want to be part of this membership anymore, you get to keep the Lucy B method. You get to keep that methodology, and you get to be able to run through it, because I want everyone to have access to it. Okay, so if you join up, you get my free you get my amazing course worth thousands, to be honest, but what I'm pricing it at to go live through it is £888. To take yourself through it is £555, or you get it free when you join the membership, and you can cancel at any time. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so the Pilates, I'm doing that as well. So you'll get that emailed to you every day, where you can comment on that. You get my wonderful methodology, and we're also adding in mum hacks. So things to make life easier. Mum hacks like things to make life easier. I literally can't think of any, but I've got loads of mum hacks, things to make life simpler. And not only mine, right? They're not just mine hacks. They're things that other people are going to send in, or I'm going to go and have a look at, and then I'm going to video and try them out. And you can video and try them out. I'm also creating a wonderful community of mums. Business mums who own their own business, mums who want to run their own business, working mums, because we need to pull together here. And so we're going to have a massive community of all of us where we can share. I'm also going to get people in to collaborate and work with me. So I've got about 3 people so far. Won't name names yet. We've got one woman who is incredible tantric stuff, so she can help you really tune into your sexual self and your femininity, really. Got one lady who is like, she can teach you how to have fun, like that's amazing, but she is like incredibly great at having fun. And I've got another woman who is very similar to me, actually, but she's got older children, incredible EFTer, and she's going to be doing some workshops with you. She's going to be working with me within this membership as well. So we've got lots of people to which, to ask advice from, to connect with. And there is also a very special section of the membership, which is called Back from the Brink. Because, as we all know, we can get to the breaking point. We can get to the point when we can't even get out of bed because life feels so tough. And that section will have demand support, if you like, will be a support from me and other people who can help. But it will also give you specific things you can do to come back from the brink. Now, I will be adding to this different things, different modules all the time. And there's also a food one. So smoothie recipes to make your life easier, right? I make smoothies a lot. I make milkshakes a lot. So recipes to make your life easier, food and drink. basically. So we've got all of these sorts of things in this membership. It's quite new, so it's like £33 a month, but it's going to be going up to I think 70 something, purely because of the volume of stuff in it. But it's brand new, so I'm adding stuff gradually. Anyway, so let's get back to it. So your mad morning. Step 1, have a plan the night before. Know what you want to get done. Know what you can ask for help with. Know what you don't need to do till later. And then next you can have a daily plan. Know what you actually can do automatically. Can you create a space? If it's with work, can you automate Facebook posts? Can you automate social media? What can you do on automation? What can you get? What can you delegate? What can you get help with? And what can you not do altogether? Okay. And then stay in one box at a time for 7 minutes maximum. So focus on each thing at a time. No more multitasking. It is madness. So when you're doing something, literally focus, even like hear me go, nope, nope. Even if your brain starts to tell you that's wrong, fine. Do you know what? I'm going to have 7 minutes of writing the stories about why I can't do this, why I should be multitasking. But I kid you not, when you stop multitasking, when you stop trying to do everything at once, you will get so much more done. Okay, so, and set the time for when things have to be done by, and then let it go. Know the time and let it go. That's all I'm... Like, if you do this, you will get out of the house on time. So the list can be everything from you need to get dressed, you get shower, wash your hair, do your makeup, do your exercise, make lunches for the kids, play with the kids, get the washing done, da 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 da. When you've made your list the night before, what can you say? Actually, babe, can you do that? Can you get the lunches done in the morning before 9? Yes, great, done. Don't double check. Get it done. And so do you need a reminder or anything like that? I need you to do that. I need that to be done. That's your job. Kids, can you do this? That'd be great. Yeah. Cool. Okay. Right. What else can you delegate? Okay. Okay. Know the time you need to be at the house and forget about it. What else can you automate? So actually, I do need to write some posts. Right. Okay. Or I need to do some posts for the morning. Can you automate that? Is there any way you can do that? Great, do that. And then you have your list of things to do. Now, is there anything that's time sensitive? So have a look and say, well, actually, yeah, I need to make that phone call to the doctors at 8 a.m. So that's time sensitive. Right, that's time sensitive. Anything else just needs to get done? Great. And then you need to sort of let go of if stuff like, so especially if you've got a baby. I know from like being a baby, I can guess when he might want to feed, but I don't know. So I'm going to stop like hitting myself over the head with not getting stuff done at everyone else's time frame and the time frame I'm going to set for myself. I'm going to get this done. It will get done, but I'm not going to kick myself if it doesn't get done when. Okay. Hence why I'm doing this in recording rather than live. I thought, no, it's not authentic for me to do it live, because I'm just going to get myself all stressed out for about half an hour beforehand. It's been absolutely fine. I've had to pause a couple of times, which I'm okay with, but I would have been stressed doing it. The kids wouldn't have got seen to. Zeke wouldn't have liked it. He wouldn't have settled. You know, you think, well, no. So, but, and then like in that box, just literally work through it and don't get distracted. Set yourself 7 minutes. And should you want the 7 minutes of Pilates daily, you're like, yeah, do you know what? The membership sounds great, but don't really want it. Right. Well, for £7 a month, seriously, £7 a month, you can just have the Pilates emailed to you daily. That's it. And that's accountability with that. So that's actually a community I've set up, and you can get that, just 7 minutes of Pilates every day for £7 a month, and you can cancel at any time. And basically I'll email you every day, say, here you go, here's your 7 minutes. And then you can let me know you've done it. So it's accountability, but do it at a time to suit you. Have those 7 minutes on your phone. I would say on your phone. This is not a phone, it's a notebook. And yeah, that's really basically it. I will list those things. I will write a list in the comments of the things you need to do, and then get it done and let me know how you get on. Like I say, if you would like access to this incredible space, okay, I can't decide whether to call it Mumming It or the Working Mums Club. So for now it's the Working Mums Club, but it might change names. You can come and have that. Now when the price goes up, your price won't go up, because the price is going to go up when it's all shiny and things. Right now it's in the beta mode, so it's in like the first fledgling things of it. But what I'm also going, but what, you know, so yeah, so let me stay focused. So it's in the fledgling list of it, so it's all quite new, it's being built. The things you want are there and available, but that's why it's so it's £33 a month. What is going to be happening as well, there will be weekly, I wrote it down here actually, what I'm going to be offering. So there will be weekly sessions where we'll be doing hot seat coaching on whatever's coming up for you. So say you're really struggling in a relationship, there'll be hot seat coaching, so that you can, that's going to be visible for all the members to watch, right? So even if you've got a problem that you don't want to make yourself visible, it'd be great if you could, that's fine. We can talk about these things that are coming up for you, but it'll be live through Zoom and recorded for the members. We'll be doing that every single week at various times to suit different people. So sometimes it'll be in the evening, sometimes it'll be doing in the earlier on, and I will have support with that. So there'll be me and somebody else who'll be doing the hot seat coaching every single week. And every month, at least, might be more, there'll be a guest masterclasser. Yeah, so somebody else will be coming in and talking to you about their zone of genius. So there is so much packed in here, and this community is going to be amazing. I'm going to drop the link to sign up for that. I'm also going to drop the link if you just want the Pilates. And if you think, do you know what, I really want to know this Lucy B method. I really want this method of getting to my stories, because if anything in here is triggering you, is like, no, that can't be done, I can't do that. It's a story. Stories are running everything. And the two ways of dealing with your stories is either to go subconscious, to go and figure out the reason, the core reason through your childhood and past life memories as to why this is happening, or you do it consciously, and you see yourself on such a raw level. You see your stories, you see what you believe, right? And you do it anyway. And I teach you how to do that, because that's powerful. So there's these two ways of actually, we can go in and heal the stuff, or we can just do the stuff anyway, because there is a toxicity to permanently needing to heal. That comes with the not enough vibe. Anyway, I digress. So if you want to be part of this, this is my life's work, and I want as many people involved in it as possible. And I've made it as reasonable as I can. And the reason it's so reasonable right now is purely because it's in the beta, it's in the founding sort of setup. And for the first few months, it's going to be £33 a month. Like I say, it's going to go up to 77 when everything's all set up and I've got all the videos in and everything's up and running, and we've got all the community is flourishing. It's going to go up, but when for you being in it, for the lifetime of you being in it, that's it. And should you leave, you say, you know what, I'm not really vibing with this membership, you can leave, but the Lucy B methodology will always be yours. You can keep that whenever you leave, so you can have that access. That course is actually coming in as a completely separate thing, and you can have that and access to that for the lifetime that I have on my course platform. Okay, so I'd love to know how you get on with your mornings. I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to probably drop a worksheet in later on today. I'll quickly type in the points which you need to stick to, and I'd love to hear your reactions and responses to this. And I would love it if you would like to come and join Working Mums Club. So for now, mwah, love from me to you, and I will see you really soon.